Good talk. Good talk. Great talk. This is awesome. So glad you're here. Okay, so last session, if I could get to my fucking notes. Okay.
I love that that's the first recorded line for this session.
Last session, Helena, Peggy, and Briar went off on an adventure, but we're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to go all the way back to the beginning of the morning, way before the three of you woke up. Minus Paulina, who's not here. Way before Higgy and Helena and Briar woke up to when Kira woke up. Kira, you woke up before the others. You had received a message from your brother stating that he wanted to meet. And you got up before everyone else, and you left a note, and you left the room. Your brother had indicated to meet at y'all's usual spot, which is that overlook that he had taken you all to earlier. So, we're going to go ahead and just start the scene here. You are on your way to... Are you heading straight there, or are you going anywhere else?
Straight there.
Okay. So you make your way back to this room right before you got to the overlook. I want you to go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Okay. Natural 1. Good way to start the morning.
Right. So you make your way into the room, and as you start heading towards the balcony, you feel two hands grab you from behind, and you are knocked into unconsciousness.
Great.
You wake up some time later. You're not sure how much time has passed. You are in an unfamiliar space. It's dark. It's damp. You think you can hear shuffling of other people where you are, but you're still very disoriented. There's, you think they used a drug to get you to knock out that fast. Go ahead and try to roll me another perception to see if you can kind of get some sort of, I'll say perception or investigation. You're trying to figure out what's going on around your surroundings.
It's the same either way.
Okay. Anything's better than a natural 1.
7.
Okay.
Not much.
So
I don't see things.
Do you have dark vision?
Yes.
Okay. So you can make out that you're in a cell. It's underground, but you can't really see anything past your current cell. It looks almost cave-like. So you can see there's like rock formations, and they kind of carved it out to be into the stone cell. There's the bars on the doors. What are you gonna do? What do you want to do?
Is my equipment still on me? Did they just toss me in here? What state am I in right now?
Yeah, so as you start looking to make sure you have everything, the only thing that they took is your, sword. You still have your whip.
Cocky of them to leave my whip on me. Okay. Interesting.
So they took your sword. Other than that, you were still wearing all of your equipment. It looks like, honestly, they just grabbed the first weapon they could see, and didn't thoroughly check you. I'm assuming your whip is, you could see it on you, but it's not prominently on you, is what I'm assuming.
It's on my side. So.
Yeah. So they grabbed the first real weapon they could see, which was your sword.
Mm-hmm.
And looks like they just tossed you in here. You're not cuffed. You don't have any shackles on. You're just locked in a cell.
Don't have really anything to try to break out of this thing. Are there any keys on the wall, perchance?
You would have to get up, like stand up and go walk to the bars to be able to see if you could see any keys.
Oh yeah, I'm going to try to look out of the bars.
Okay, before you get up, I need you to roll me a con save.
Okay. Gonna be 8.
What is it? 8? Okay. So you stand up, but you're shaky on your feet. You're still heavily disoriented. It seems like the drugs haven't fully left your system. Give me 1 second so I can find the condition for that. And also change our music because for some reason it's getting a little too synthy for me. Okay. Let's see. So for your character sheet, you are fatigued. That's the condition. It's also known as exhaustion. Right now, you are... Right now, the condition, all it's really going to do, because I'm not going to do this, the full way, but essentially because you're exhausted, you are going to have disadvantage on some of your ability checks.
Okay, gotcha. So just like a standard level 1 exhaustion.
Yeah, standard level 1 exhaustion. Usually it's all of your ability checks, but I'm just going to do some that involve you having to move around.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so you make your way to the door. It's slow going at first. God damn it. 1 second. Sorry, guys. We're getting there. I keep thinking I found the right music, and then it's the wrong one. 2 seconds, guys. Oh,
Time's up.
there you go. So you make your way to the bars of the cell. Off in the distance, you can see there's some sort of lantern or torch. In front of you, there looks like there's a table of sorts, probably where the guards would normally be stationed. As you kind of try to like stick your head out a little bit more off, you can see there's like a small wall that has, it looks like keys on it. But it's too far for you to actually like reach out and grab it.
She looks down at the whip at her side, and almost in like a, like, this is the only thing I've got.
Mm-hmm.
Pulls it off of her side. And tries to aim through the bars, knowing she'll be a little bit shaky. And tries to.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a. Give me a second. Because I'm being flashbanged over here. That's gonna be an athletics check. You're gonna be rolling at disadvantage.
Really like that 6. Okay. 15.
15. Okay, so you reach your arm through the bars and you just kind of do a quick flick of your wrist to try and see if the whip will reach far enough to at least maybe knock the keys down or something. Anything at this point. You see your whip like go out and it's about that far off from touching the keys. It's really close. Once you do that, however, you hear next to you, it's because you can kind of, you look to left, right, you can see there's other cells. You can hear a gruff older man's voice kind of sit there and be like, "It was a good try."
It's the only thing I've got. I've got friends that could have opened this door in about 5 seconds, but they're elsewhere.
Mm. Well, I wouldn't hope for any sort of rescue in this place. This has been hidden away for decades. Mostly unused until, well, recently.
Do you know because you've been in it for those decades?
And you kind of like hear. You're noticing, I guess, you're hearing his voice, that his voice is like deeper. There's like a gravel to it. As he's kind of, it sounds like he's much older, an older gentleman. As he kind of goes, you could say, I've I've lived here for a long time, not necessarily in this cell.
She kind of grips one of the bars and looks down at it. Rolls her whip back up and puts it at her side and kind of puts her head against one of the other. Does the queen put people here, or is it someone else?
And you hear something akin to like a scoff, but it's also kind of like a growl. As he kind of goes, huh. Queen, that's a word for her. Her and that thing.
The hand around the bar just tightens up and it's sort of shaking. You know, whenever you grip something so tight that your muscles inside of your head and
Yep.
everything just sort of starts shaking just as it goes. I really hope. And she's talking out loud. It's not like she's talking to him, but at the same time he can hear it.
Yeah.
I really hope she just found out I was meeting him instead of... She kind of just trails off, not even wanting to finish the sentence.
I'm assuming you've gotten on her bad side.
Have you heard of her daughter that went off on a wild adventure by any chance?
I can recall some sort of thing like that. I'm more acquainted with her son.
Well, pleasure to meet you. I'm his sister.
Ah, I see. Well, she never really did give off the motherly aspect.
You have no idea.
Oh, I have a general idea. And you kind of hear some shuffling from his end. And he goes, here. And you kind of like look over and you see there's a giant pawed hand. You can see fur. And it seems he's gripping something in his hand as he kind of like is able to reach towards you.
She'll reach out and take whatever it is.
And he drops it into your hand. He goes, I am never going to get out of here. But I think you'll have better luck. And it's a small, tiny obsidian stone. And he goes, do you have anything that can make fire? It just needs a spark.
Yeah, I've got a tinderbox, so I should be able to use something from that.
Okay. And you kind of looking it over, and you hear him say, "Put it in the lock." And you see on the iron door, there's like a place where you could fit the key.
She follows his instructions and gives it a spark.
I'd suggest you take a few steps back. And as you hit the tender and you give it a spark, you can hear cracking of the stone and a sizzling. And then suddenly there's not a large explosion, but there's an explosion. As the lock is ripped open, the metal is melted, and the door just swings open.
She walks out and looks around. Does she see her sword anywhere?
Yeah, it's leaning up over by the keys.
She'll walk up, put her sword back on her back, grab the keys, and walk over to his cell.
What you see is a large lion man. He's got graying fur. His hair is gray, and his fur has what used to be like a golden yellow, has now faded from time. He's blind in one eye. You see his other eye is a shining amber. And he's dressed in what looks to be some, you would know, very elegant clothing. It's large robes and things of the like. And he's kind of sitting on the floor. He's got chains on both of his feet. And he just kind of looks up at you. And he looks like he used to be this very large, giant man, but sitting on this floor, he just looks old and withered as he just kind of looks up at you. And he goes, you look like your brother.
And then she'll take the key, put it in the lock, and open the door.
He makes no move to leave. I appreciate it, young one, but if I were to be suddenly missing, let's just say no one would make it out of here. Sam, roll me a history check.
Natural 20 plus 5, 25.
Okay. We're going to do this a little differently because I'm going to lead you to the answer, but I'm not going to give it to you. As you're looking him over, you're seeing familiar coloring of the robes. There's something familiar about something in the back of your head is sticking out like a just really stuck out there of you thinking back of, okay, before you left, you never saw a lot of nobles or a lot of people who lived at the royal court, but as you're kind of thinking it over, the color of his robes, the way he looks, the way he talks, this isn't like a normal, just random person in a jail cell.
She deposed you, didn't she?
And he kind of looks up and gives you this wide, toothy grin, and he goes, "That's a word for it." And you're kind of looking him over a little more, and something that really sticks out is as he's kind of shifting, there's an emblem on the shirt under his robes that you only saw on flags, the knight's armor, things of the like. It used to be in the royal halls. Specifically, the sword your mother now carries also has this same emblem.
She nods, slowly closes the door back and locks it. I'll put the keys back where they were. And then she leans in and goes, as soon as I take her out, you're getting out of here.
I hope it goes as smoothly as you wish it. I ask a favor of you.
Name it.
My son. Evander. Get a message to him. Let him know I'm alive. He'll know. Just let him know his father is alive.
Of course.
You should be able to recognize him. He looks like me, but younger.
Okay.
I wish you luck. I would hurry. The guards will be coming back soon. I'm assuming she drugged you also?
Yes.
Over in the cabinet over there, they have the medicines. I see a lot. I may be old, but I'm not blind. Well, half blind.
Well, that gives you plausible deniability. You'll only see half of this. And then she'll walk over to the cabinet, open it up, and she'll not only look for the medicine, but she'll also look for the poison.
Okay, roll me a perception check to see if you can find both.
15.
Okay. You easily find the antidote. The poison takes you a little longer. But you find both. The poison's in a purple-esque bottle. The antidote is in a clear, it's a green liquid.
Okay. She'll take the antidote, obviously.
Okay, you're no
She
longer
needs that at the
fatigued.
moment. And then she'll look at the poison and be like, I'll wait for you. And puts it in her pocket.
All right, so you're still in the dungeon. You're kind of in the dungeons. You're now realizing these are dungeons. You kind of look around trying to find an exit. There's a small doorway that you can see past his cell as you can walk past. You're unsure if that's the exit, but that's the only way that you can see in or out.
She looks over at him and points at the doorway as if to say, this way?
He kind of tries to lean and look, and he goes, I believe so. That's the only way I've ever seen people come in or out.
Thank you. And I'm sorry.
Mm. You are not at fault for the actions of your parents.
I wish I could convince myself that. And then she walks out the door.
Okay. You make your way through the doorway. You see there's a long hallway. It's starting to look less like the cave-ish. There's stone, like actual, like, built stone here. And as you're making your way down, there's torches lighting the way. You get to a crossroads. You can go right or you can go left.
I'll go right.
Okay. You make your way to the right. It kind of winds down this another hallway, and you see a door on the left side towards a dead end.
Okay. Try the door.
It's unlocked.
I'll go through.
All right, you open the door to a dimly lit room. It's got a desk. There's some books scattered on a table. Looks like there's some sort of supplies here. Do you want to look around or you want to turn around and leave?
Let me look in the supplies out of sheer curiosity.
Okay.
Not a deep look, like I'm gonna glance and see
Yeah.
if like there's any potions or anything like that in there, but otherwise.
No, it's mostly rope, herbs of some kind. There's looks like there's stuff for like change of the guard, so like pillows, blankets. Nothing really of note. The only other things in this room that kind of catch your eyes, the books, like the papers that are on the table and the desk.
What are they?
Oh, hold on, you froze. There you go. Okay, so over on the table, you see there's some paperwork regarding like shift changes, who's on duty for the guards. The book's open to, you think, finances. Over on the desk, however, you see what looks to be one of those like parchments that you get posted up, like almost like wanted posters, but these are more like announcements. Like this is an announcement. Do you want to read it?
Yeah.
So it's in large, like, font. By decree of the Queen, these people are sentenced to death. There's a list of names, but at the very bottom, 2 names stick out to you. Yours and your brother's.
She kind of snarls at it and goes, like hells.
And at the bottom of the page, there's essentially a time and date of like, so it's today, later this afternoon, by hanging. You assume the other names on the list are nobles that oppose her. None really catch your eye, though, but you and your brother are on there. But none of your
Have
friends
the
are.
First name of the son that I need to get the message to, right?
Nope,
Okay.
that name's not on the list.
Okay. Well, I really need to get out of here. because I've got an appointment to make.
All right. So are you heading back out?
Yeah.
Are you going to take that with you?
Yeah.
Okay. So you make your way back out. You go back down the hallway to where you can turn left instead of right. I'm assuming you're going to head just straight down that hallway.
Mm-hmm.
You head down the hallway and you see stairs at the end of it. There's no other doors really, but are you going up them?
Yes.
All right. You make your way up the stairs. It kind of comes out to a platform, and there's a door off to the right. There's a door in the middle, and there's a door on the left. One of them you can obviously kind of see has more wear, but it also has like things near it that kind of indicate that you think that's where the guards stay. There's kind of like that muddy prints of like boots and stuff outside the door, so you can obviously tell that those are where the guards reside. The other two don't really have that much indication of where they lead to.
I'm going to avoid the guard door.
Yep. So the middle or the right?
I'm going to try the middle.
Okay, so you go to the middle door. It's unlocked. And it's another long hallway, but you can see stairs at the end.
Okay.
You also hear footsteps coming from behind you.
Are these the type of doors that have like the little window with the little bars in them, or is it just
Yeah.
solid? Okay.
Yeah, they're windows with little bars.
Okay, so I will slip into that door and close it behind me and kind of peer out and see if I can see someone.
You see coming through, when I say behind you, like they were coming like from somewhere around you, but like not directly behind you. So they're not coming from the hallway behind you. They're coming from one of the two doors. I should have clarified that.
Okay.
So you see the door on the right open, and it looks like a normal guard. You can see it's just him so far. He shuts the door behind him and he goes directly over to the door that you didn't take, the other door that you didn't take, and opens it, and you can hear loud. It's loud now. It seems the door had really muffled the sounds, chattering and rustling, and you can hear swords clattering, armor moving, and there sounds to be like group of guards inside that room. Do you want to try and hear what they're saying?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Okay, roll me perception. Okay. You barely pick up anything, but because you read the letter, you can make out enough to know that they're talking about the execution and that it's getting set up outside in the courtyard right now. You also hear very slightly, the words get kind of choppy as you're trying to listen, but you think you hear something about the guests. And losing their trail.
She kind of chuckles to herself. Good job. And then starts going down the hallway.
All right, you make your way down the hallway. You go up the stairs, and you're brought out into a room, like a large stone room, and you can kind of get your bearings now because it looks more like you're getting closer to being to the outside. There's a large wooden door off to the left that you can kind of hear the sounds of the outside coming from. And then there's another set of stairs right in front of you, and then there's another smaller door off to the right.
Sorry, run me through that again. My brain did a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. So off to the left, there's a larger door. It looks like an outside door, like a door you would go to take outside. You can hear the noises of people outside. There's just a general hubbub of like being outside. There's a large staircase in front of you, and to the right, there's a smaller door that looks like it could either lead to another hallway or to a room.
I'm gonna go outside.
Okay. So you manage to open the door. It's heavy, but you manage to open the door and kind of slip out, and you can directly see in front of you the courtyard. As you take your step outside, you see the courtyard. You see they're already setting up the gallows. So there's a large wooden platform with nooses, and from where you're standing, there's a little bit of greenery and like bushes and things where you could kind of hide yourself, so you can kind of observe the area if you wanted to, or you could just walk right out.
Oh, I'll observe.
Okay, roll me stealth. With advantage, because you have like bushes and things to cover you.
Don't roll it. 19.
Okay. So you kind of position yourself in these bushes, and you can see through the foliage. You see a group of people shackled, lined up. They're all wearing, you could tell, noble clothing. Some of their faces you recognize as being on the king's court, like part of the first, like the king that she usurped court. A lot of them are humanoid, so they're humans, elves. You see another lion person, but looks more like it's a woman rather than it's like the son that he was talking to you about. Then if you look over up to the right, second, you throws for me again. Okay. Up over to the right, you can see there's like that. Oh, hold on. Is Sam spinning for anybody else? There we go. All right. Over to the right, you can see, if you notice, like the royal boxes where like royalty would sit and watch, you can see that up above where the gallows are, and you can clearly see your mother in full royal regalia, standing there. There's chaos outside of the kind of courtyard, where you see like people running back and forth. There's a lot of yelling. There's guards. You can see that some common folk have started to gather and are, the general consensus you can kind of get is they're upset because from what you remember, gallows and hanging people was never done. If you were to be punished, you would be publicly like given a trial, and then you would either be exiled, jailed, or put to death, but the king himself would kill you basically by beheading you. But it was after there was like some due process done, and obviously from the reactions you're seeing of you could tell there's probably family members of these people out, because there's crying, there's sobbing, there's pleading for their lives, that none of that was done.
I'll wait for the festivities to get started. That way it'll make the biggest statement possible.
Okay. So as you're sitting there, you can hear your mother kind of start to, there's some crackling. You think she's using magic to be able to speak to everyone. And I will be kind of, I don't want to force your character, but I had your character doing something at the end, so I'm going to try and...
Oh yeah, I'm assuming that's when she would have shown up in that position that you put her in. So that's why I'm like, she would literally be there to go, I am going to show up on this stage when she's trying to be, that way I can spit in her face in the biggest way possible.
Yeah. So, she kind of like, she's like, was sitting in a sitting position. She stands up now and she goes, "People of Cindergate, these people are traitors. They are traitors to the crown. They are traitors to this very fine city. And they are to be put to death by hanging."
As she's doing that, we get the cinematic of her slowly walking out, going, I assume weaving through the crowd.
Yeah. It's so the way that it was is that there's no one around the gallows. So you walk out, you are a lone figure walking out towards the hangman stage. And as you walk up on the stage, your mother's talking about the royal court and how traitors deserve to die. And she's going on this monologue, essentially. And you kind of walk up there and just look up at her square in the face. And because this is how I had you ending, I'm just going to say this. You draw your sword and you hold your sword out at your, like, up at her. And then you're free to say or do whatever you want from there.
She's a noble background. She knows how to speak out to a group. And since they're closer to her, she can project while Mom up in her box has to use magic to do it.
Yep.
She goes, "Do you want to tell them about the king in the dungeon that you have currently hidden?"
And your mother, like, it's silence. And she stares down at you. And she goes, "Oh, look. My lovely daughter has escaped her cage." And at this time, Helena, Higgy, and Briar walk up. Briar, for the sake of this, we're just going to have her follow along with where this is going. And you three, the three of y'all, I'm just going to say the two of y'all because we know Briar's here. So you two walk up towards the stage where you see Kira standing, sword pointed at her mother, and you hear the conversation.
She looks,
oh, and Malachi's here too.
She looks over at the crowd. "Citizens of Cindergate, as your princess, regardless of what that harpy says, she has tormented you, brought you under her thumb, and if you're happy about it, I would be surprised. Royalty is supposed to take care of their citizenry. They're not supposed to do what this woman has done. If there are any traitors to not just a crown, but to the city, you're looking at her. Are we going to be quiet about this? Or are we going to do something about it?"
You hear there's a murmur through the crowd, and there's like a swell of shouts coming from the common folk. And you see the guards have now all lined up to keep back this now ever-growing crowd that is starting to form. And you see that your mother is still standing up in that like parapet box, whatever the fuck it's called. As she's kind of, you, Kira, know your mother well enough that you see there's a slight panic in her face as she's kind of looking side to side, looking around very, like her eyes are moving rapidly. And as she tries to say something, looks like she's about to try and dispute things. She's about to do something. 1 second. Sorry, I had it right here and it's lost. Nope, wrong one. As she looks like she's about to say something, shit, hold on, the music just stopped. From behind her, you see a sword stab straight through her chest from behind, coming straight out. And you just hear the as blood, but it's not blood, it's black ink drips down her face. And as you're all staring, and everyone's now, the crowd is silent as they're watching this horrific thing. And as the inky blackness comes out, the skies darken above you. It's kind of like they're swirling above the city as Kira, roll me perception. Actually, everybody roll me perception to see if you can see who stabbed her.
14.
Okay.
19.
Okay.
21.
All right, so all three of you look up and you see a familiar face. A tiefling with that long, dark hair, kind, soft face, wearing the armor of the city as he's holding his wife by the shoulder, dagger, like the sword straight through her chest. And you can see him whispering something in her ear as he slowly pulls the sword out and she drops to the floor. And in full image, you now see Kira, your father, standing there with the black inked sword. And he's standing there kind of just... It is not the face of joy that you normally see on your father. There's just plain sadness and sorrow as he's looking at your mother's dead body. And he looks out at you, Kira, and he kind of gives like a wistful smile and says, "I'm sorry." And in the next breath, your father's head falls onto the stage in front of you. As the man in shadow, the man wearing the cloak that you've seen a couple of times, has now just kicked your father's body over and had thrown his head on the stage.
What's everyone doing at the moment?
Like in the crowd or just the party?
I'm looking for the party at the moment.
Okay.
Hig's a little in shock. She was readying some spells because she thought this was going to be a big fight, but now there's shock and she's kind of looking to Kira to gauge what's going to happen next.
Kira?
Instead of the confidence that she had mere seconds ago, it was like a set of waves. First, the shock of her mother dying, even though she wanted to be done with her, she didn't think it was going to hit like this. And then she's just staring down at her father's body in front of her. Almost like she doesn't know what to do.
One moment.
What you doing, Blaze?
Making a decision. How far is the stage from here?
From you, you're, I want to say about 15 feet from the stage.
For better or for worse, I guess.
Oh,
we
yeah.
can do this in for a penny and for a pound.
Oh, sorry, 1 second. I forgot to switch all over to the right map. Here you go. I got it for you. 1 second. There you go.
Helena takes a moment to look around. Higgy. To Kira. Malachi, and then her eyes rest on Briar for a very long moment before an almost fire moves through them. And we're gonna rush the stage.
Okay, so you make it up to the stage. You're right behind Kira, up above, and you can see the royal box that's above the stage. So it's above ground, it's up on a higher part of like the stone. And you see the hooded figure is looking down at you all as the sky is still swirling in dark matters. And Higgy, you feel that ice pick again in your head.
Yeah, no, we are locking that shit out. Get out of my head.
And yeah, go ahead and roll me a con save to see if you can block it out. The hooded figure kind of like looks down at you all, and slowly but surely you see him grab the top of his hood, and it's being pulled down. It is not someone you recognize.
I rolled a
I
15.
swear if you do this to me.
Is not someone you recognize. His skin is rotting. There's flesh missing. You can see an exposed jaw. His eyes are just pools of black. There's underneath, like, where there's like the open parts of the rotting skin and flesh, you can see underneath it those inky tendrils moving underneath. And he does still have like hair, and you can tell like the hair probably used to be a form of like maybe brown, but you can barely tell. It's just stringy and just he looks rotting and dead. But what you do notice, and I'm basing this off your last perception checks, what you do notice is some of the flesh looks new. So there's like a lot of it that's like rotting and looks very just dead, but you see pieces of him that look like it's regenerating. It's almost like it's regenerating right in front of you.
He's feeding off of his victims.
And he doesn't say anything, but you see him reach down to your mother, Kira, and pick her up by the throat. And all you see is those inky tendrils coming out and drawing her into his body as you watch your mother be absorbed. And that regenerating flesh quickens, and you're seeing a hand and an arm fully start to form. And you're seeing a half of his face is becoming less rotted. The skin, you're noticing the skin color is that of like a purple hue. And you're watching as like that face starts to form, and like the eyelids are growing over, and the jaw and the skin of the flesh of the cheek are starting to kind of knit together, the muscles. And you see him kind of like crack his neck. And he goes to reach for your father. I'm going to give y'all a couple seconds to decide what you want to do, because he's reaching for Kira's father now.
From the stage, how far is the skybox?
You're looking at like 50 feet.
I need to check the range on something. Fuck this shit. Magic missile, bitch.
All right, you're going to shoot magic missile at him. Go ahead and roll me that attack roll. And no, I'm not going to make y'all roll initiative.
Sorry, I need to add some dice here.
You're good. I need to change our music slightly.
You know what? I have something.
Where are all my D4s? Damn it. Even if I just give me one. There we go. Alright. So, magic missile, I don't have to I don't have to roll for hit, I just have to roll for damage. So that's there. Cat. This.
Nope, sorry. That's the wrong music.
That's that. That's the red. And the cat. The dogs. So 12 to hit.
12 to hit?
No, not to hit, but 12 damage, sorry.
Okay. Describe what your magic missile looks like. Like when you're sending it out, describe to me like how you're wanting it to hit him.
I also like I know this is one of those things where Higgy knows that it's probably not going to hurt him very much, but at least wanted to like distract or essentially at this point she's trying to blind him if she can. So all of those hits, so you see that's 4 little magic missile jets shoot out from her fingers and just pelt him right in the face.
So your magic missile goes out and it heads for him as he's looking away. He's looking down at Kira's father as he's trying to grab. And so as they're coming towards him, you swear you see it hit his face. He doesn't flinch. And you see, what color is your magic missile?
I don't think it really
You can pick a color. I'm just asking you, what color do you want your magic missile to be? Because it's a color. It's usually red is what they describe it as, but I'm giving you flavor.
Hold on. Ooh, hold on. All right, we're gonna go with we're gonna go with sparkly red.
Sparkly red.
Yeah.
All right, so that sparkle of red, like you see it hit his face. But the next thing you see is that a black tendril had come up
And caught it.
and you see your red spread down that black tendril as it looks like he's absorbing it into himself, and you're seeing another part of his body start to regenerate back. And he almost looks fully regenerated. You're still seeing some of that rot like on his neck and on like little pieces of his face. And he stops and he looks at you all and he smiles. And when he smiles, you just see rows and rows of teeth, of just sharp, jagged teeth.
I was gonna...
No, what are you gonna do? You still have time.
Yeah. I was gonna cast a spell, but we're not gonna do that anymore. Instead,
Yeah.
I'm going to... Helene's gonna look up at him. Meet his gaze. I want you to remember something. I'm coming for you. And when I get there, I'm going to make it hurt. I'm going to make it hurt oh so much. So deliciously. You are going to cry. And you are going to scream. And there will be no help coming for you. I want you to remember this moment, right here and right now. All of the hurt and anger. By the blood of my oath to friends and family, I will have your head on my wall.
Are you doing anything else? Or are you just saying that?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. So he's looking down at you. He's looking down at y'all. And he kind of matches your eyes, Helena, and you feel an ice pick in your head. And the slow progression of tendrils. Are you going to try and fight it? If you're going to fight it, I need a con save. If not, then I don't need a con save.
That's gonna be a 7.
Okay. So you feel the slow progression of the tendrils, and you hear a voice in your head. Drift End, was it?
Try it. That only makes
And-
me angrier.
Good. You taste more delicious when you're angry. And you still feel it in your head, but it quickly kind of pulls out as he kind of looks over at you all, looks over at all of the people. He discards Kira. You see him drop your father, and he goes, he's still not said anything. He just kind of stands up. And you all feel the ground start to shake. And you hear somewhere deep in the ground roars of a large creature. And the shaking gets bigger and louder, and you're all like the wood stage that Kira and Helena are standing on. Higgy, you and Malachi are down on the ground. Is starting to sway under this immense amount of pressure that is happening from underneath the ground. And from the castle, through the ceiling, you just see an explosion of stone as 6 heads come out. And you see that familiar creature that you had befriended and promised that you were going to save. And Higgy, you can feel Malachi just raging.
Yeah.
As the six-headed creature comes out, and it's starting to do that, and it's heading towards the box, and the heads kind of hunker down around that box, and you see the man step onto the edge of the ledge as he grabs onto one of the shackles. Is there something that you want to do really quickly, Hickey?
Can I see if he's got like the scepter, doohickey, whatever it takes to control this thing? Do I see it?
Roll me perception to see if you can see it.
Yeah. Okay, I see everything.
What'd you roll?
It sounds like a nat 20.
Nat 20?
Yeah, so that would be like
Okay.
24.
You're looking, and as you're kind of looking around to see if he has it, you don't see it on him. However, when he absorbed Kira's mom,
Yep, knew that's how that was going to play out.
you saw that she had it because she was holding it like a scepter. So she had the sword and she had the scepter. The sword's gone. You don't see the sword anymore. That was like the royal sword that you two had been told about.
Mm-hmm.
But that scepter, you can only assume he either absorbed it or it fell or it's on the ground, something. But you
he needs the scepter to control the creature, so that means he absorbed it if it's not on the ground.
Kira's mom needed the scepter to control the creature. So as he reaches out and he grabs onto the chains, which you can see they're kind of dangling off the creature, he grabs onto it. That black ink that you keep seeing is now washing over them. And you can see they all started to like look around, and they look at y'all as a group, particularly the youngest that you remember talking to. The youngest is wildly looking at their siblings. As their siblings their eyes have started to glaze over, and that inky blackness fills their pupils until it gets to the youngest, and the youngest is bewildered, wild. It looks like it's trying to do something. Its head is thrashing about wildly until finally you see that black ink start to wrap around its neck, and you see it start to cloud over its eyes, and it makes eye contact, Higgy, you see, with Malachi.
Can I quickly, just like telepathically, I'm shouting at this thing that we will come for it.
Yeah, you can. And
We're
the
not
last
giving up.
Yeah, and the last thing that you hear from the youngest is, "This can't be the end. Promise."
I promise.
And then it's glazed over, and and you see the man crawl onto the back of the creature. He had grabbed it by the like one of the heads and start walking across it onto its back. And as you see, like, he's sitting on it, he's kind of looking over, and he just goes, "See you soon." And the creature rises up over the town. The circling clouds are starting to, you see, kind of come to a climax right around where this man is standing with the creature. As it's rising up, you see someone else in that box rushing forward. You two don't recognize him. Kira, you do. You two see an older lion man gentleman graying hair. His robes are gone. He's wearing just bare leather. As you see him suddenly reach for something, pull out the royal sword, lift it into the air, pointing straight up. And God damn it, I didn't write it down.
You go poop over there, damn it.
He lifts it up into the air, and you hear this roar of a name as he screams out, "Pelor!" And suddenly the skies open. And there is a giant beam of just pure divine light that comes crashing down to the sword. And right onto the man and the creature. You see, obviously they got hit. There is some sort of, you hear screeches and screams and things of the like before something opens underneath them. Looks to be some sort of portal that they both, the creature and the man, just fall through. And then it swallows it up. But that light is still coming down to the sword. You see it enveloping the old man. The clouds suddenly disperse and light falls over the entire city. And light falls over the city. The clouds have dissipated. That heavy weight that you felt in the air is gone. You see the crumbling of the stone. You see this older lion man as the light kind of dissipates. Still holding the sword, he kind of slumps forward. From the crowd behind you, Helena and Higgy, you hear Evander screaming from the crowd and running to, it looks like there's like a door off to the side that he runs to. And Kira, if you're paying attention, you see your brother is right behind him, chasing after Evander. What are you all doing right now?
My dad's body is still up in the box, right?
Yes, his body is, his head is right in front of you.
She goes down to her knees, picks the head up, puts it in her arms, and just curls up, says nothing.
What are the rest of you doing?
Hig is going to make herself big for this one.
Okay.
And I'm assuming there's no one like directly in danger in front of us or anything like that.
No, everything seems to kind of like, the guards are in shock as they're watching their used to be king standing up in the box and the supposedly dead prince running up to it. The people, most of them ran away out of fear. So right now in this courtyard, it is just y'all and some guards and the prisoners. And you see, and just Evander, Kira's brother, and the king.
How's Malachi holding up? Does he look like he's about to bolt, or?
Malachi is frozen still. just staring up at the sky, and you can see tears rolling down his cheeks.
Hig is just going to, return the hold and just, we'll get them back. We'll get them back.
Could they have survived it? I don't know if I even wanted them to survive that. Because maybe death is better than whatever the fucking existence they had.
Maybe. And if that's the case, revenge it is. Right?
Yeah. Go to Kira. I'm fine. I'll be okay.
If you run off into the woods, I might just murder you later.
I am too tired.
Okay. And she's going to go to Kira and just sit next to her.
Helena, what are you doing?
Helena's watched the scene. Watches Kira run over to father. Listens to the conversation between Malachi and Hig. And without another word, summons a giant wolf to her side.
Okay. Are you using Fine Steed?
Yes.
Okay.
Hops on the back. The wolf colored the exact same color as Helena.
Mm-hmm.
And the wolf takes off out of the courtyard.
Okay. Where's Helena heading to?
Drift End.
Okay. Are you taking Briar with you?
Briar would be on the wolf as well.
Okay. All right, we'll deal with that next session then. So Kira, you're with Higgy, Malachison in the courtyard. You suddenly hear your brother's voice from the box as you hear Corin screaming from the box as he has found your father's body.
Are the prisoners still bound up and everything?
Yeah, the prisoners are still locked up. No, the guards haven't moved, honestly. This whole scene just too shocking. The only thing that's happening is Evander is with his father. Corin is holding your dad's body. You're with his head.
Still holding it. Tears just streaming down her face. She looks over at the guards. Do your job. And let the prisoners go!
You kind of see the guards kind of like stutter back to life as one or two of them, the rest kind of still are just standing there. One or two of them kind of wake up and go, and they let the prisoners go. You see the female-looking lion immediately, as soon as she's unshackled, run up to the parapet. And you can hear up in the parapet, there's new sobs. There's new crying coming from up there. As well, I'll see. Do y'all want to go up to the parapet to see what's going on up there?
I don't think Kira can move, so that's up to you. Hig.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
Hig is going to stay with Kira. She kind of figures that the people up there have enough going on that they don't need them on top of it.
Okay.
So
So up in the parapet, the scene that's unfolding, and I will just tell you what it is, because then we're going to do a little bit of a time skip. The king is laying on the ground. You see Evander and the female lioness over his body as the king is having his last moments. Because he used the last of his strength to summon Pelor. And Corin is holding your father's body tightly, begging him to come back. And the king looks up at his son Evander and says, "You'll do wonderfully, my son. You have good people behind you, and you have an even better partner." And he looks over at Corin, and Corin kind of lifts his head up off your father's chest, and you see Evander reach out for him, and they're holding hands tightly. He looks over at the female lioness, who is older. She's also graying as he looks over and goes, "My darling wife, look after them once I'm gone. I'm sorry I couldn't do more. I cherish the moments we've had, and I will be returning to Pelor's grace." And the wife's crying, and you kind of see the king reach out and like hold her face and go, "This is not the goodbye. This is not the end. It's a wonderful beginning to a brand new journey. May we all find peace in the fact that one day we will all be together again." And you see she's holding his hand as it goes limp. And you hear Evander just let out a giant roar of anguish. We're going to cut to a couple hours later. The guards have kind of started to come back to life. They are breaking down the gallows. Kira, Corin has met up with you.
A couple of hours later, I have to have my crap together. Okay, let's do this.
Corin immediately, as soon as he sees you, because these past hours, to kind of explain, has been they've collected the dead bodies. They have gone down into the new king Evander, has gone ahead and started to strip anything that your mother had already done, including where the creature was held and all of those other humanoid creatures that were down there. And with that, the gallows have been broken down. Now in the courtyard, there are 2 funeral pyres that have been built. There's the common folk have kind of started to come back, but you're noticing everyone is wearing mourning clothes. The colors of the flags have been changed to that of mourning. Evander is now standing in royal garb. He has the sword that his father used at his side. You see his mother standing next to him, also now back in royal garb, as they stand at the front of these funeral pyres. Your father's body has been laid, and very quickly, essentially a mortician has attempted to stitch back your father's head to his body to kind of make him look presentable. He is wearing the finest armor they have, the finest garb of royalty, and he's holding a sword across his chest, and there are lilies of the valley covering him, and next to it is the king, who is also wearing royal garb, fine golds and silks, they brushed his mane away from his face. There's other flowers there. Different shades of gold and silver hues kind of decorating him. And Corin runs up to you, Kira, and immediately is just pulling you into a hug. And he goes, I thought I lost you. I didn't see you this morning when I asked you to meet, and I looked everywhere, and I went to your friends, and I wasn't here when you needed me.
It's okay. You didn't do anything wrong. They just ambushed me. That's all.
I don't want to ask, but I have to. Is it true? Did Father...
Yes.
You know, he always said that he could never bring himself to hurt Mom. And as much as I hated her, I don't know if she deserved this. Justice, yes.
I thought it would feel different when it happened, but I think I mourned her as much as I mourned him when it happened.
I should have been here.
As much as she was horrible, I'm not even sure that was her at that point. That thing. The distraction it brings in its wake.
Corin kind of somberly nods and just goes, I feel like I already know the answer, but I'm gonna ask. Are you gonna stay? I could really use my troublemaker sister. But I understand if you can't.
I have a mission. After that, maybe.
I'd like it if you came. You at least have to be here for my wedding.
Deal.
I'd go with you if I could. And you see he kind of looks back at Evander and looks back at you. I can't leave him.
No. He's got to get used to all the royal stuff, and you have to help.
Before you leave, there's something I need to give you. I have to go get it. It's amongst Father's things, but it's something he wanted you to have.
Okay.
I think they're gonna start soon. And he reaches out to hold your hand. He's like, will you do this with me?
Yeah, of course.
Higgy, you're with Malachi. You're standing off kind of the side up against a wall. Are you still big? Or did you go back to being small?
I don't have control over that, remember?
That is true. You're still big. So, that is true. You're right. I have control of that. You're still big.
That's right. Okay.
So Malachi is death gripping your hand. He's holding your hand. He's kind of like staring off into the distance. And he kind of just... He's still staring off to the distance, but he's like, you can tell he's talking to you as he goes. Rude. Korok, this is not the time. Break from the sadness. Malachi kind of still like is looking like off into space as he's like squeezes your hand, and he goes, I don't know what I would do if I had to do this alone.
It's a good thing that you're not.
Yeah. I'm really glad you're with me.
Me too.
This is going to be a shit show.
Yeah, it is. But we'll join Helena and Briar when Kira's had her time to mourn. And we'll just meet this head on.
I guess that's all we really can do.
It is.
And as the kind of conversation, like you're conversing, you hear the sound of music coming from, it looks like there was a... Coming from, it looks like there's a couple of people playing violins and other types of music as you see Evander step forward and kind of address everyone and say, this is not the right music. I'm so sorry. It's funeral music, but it's not like...
Yeah.
Super dark. Like, Jesus Christ.
This works.
Yeah. Okay. Evander kind of addresses the crowd and he goes, it's been a tumultuous time these past few months. And to look ahead, we will make things right. However, now we mourn and we grieve. We grieve two great men who sacrificed everything to ensure the safety of the city and the safety of their loved ones. In the old tradition, the families will light the pyres as we wish for Pelor to smile upon them in the afterlife. And Kira, you and Corin are handed torches, and Evander and his mother are both handed torches, and you are directed to go to the funeral pyres, say whatever you want to say, and light the pyre.
Not sure that Kira says anything. I think she leaves that to her brother, given that he's going to stay. She almost has this weird feeling of, I don't think I need to, if that makes sense.
Corin kind of looks at you, like waits to see if you're going to say anything, looks at your father, talks to him. It says, I hope wherever you go, you can have some peace at last. And we're going to make you proud. I'm going to miss you. I love you, Dad. And he waits because Evander and his mother are talking to the king. And Kira, you can kind of hear Evander say, I wish I had known you were alive sooner. But you always had to go out with a bang. And his mother kind of whispers some sweet words as Evander looks over at you and Corin, and your eyes kind of meet. He indicates to lower the torches. And you both lower the torches, and they quickly catch flame. They've been doused in gasoline as the flames quickly rise higher and higher and higher. What you see next is a soft, it's later in the evening. So you were like mid-afternoon during this time frame. So now it's starting to get later in the evening. The moon is starting to come out. So when you see this warm golden light hover above your father and the king, as you see rising up in the flames in a golden hue, your father standing above the pyre. And you see the king has done the same, very similar. Kira, your father looks down at you in this golden visage, and he smiles. It's that same soft, kind smile of your father. And his mouth doesn't move, but you can hear him. I will always be proud of you, no matter what you do in this life or the next. And I am so glad I got to see you again. And I can only hope that you are safe on your journey, and that I can continue to watch over you and smile. You see Corin is having a similar experience where you can't hear it, but he's talking to them. And you look over, and Evander and his mother are having the same experience, because you see Evander's mother, paw covering her mouth as she's silently crying. And you see the two men suddenly turn and face each other, and they walk towards each other, and they grasp each other's arms tightly. And you see it looks like they're having a conversation before another, it's not golden, it's more of a silvery hue, light kind of fades over them, and they start to dissipate as little golden orbs of light with a hint of silver kind of scatters over the courtyard like fairy lights, just hovering over the air. And the fires continue to burn. You see Corin quickly, squeeze your hand but he quickly lets go and is like very quickly walking over to Evander. You can see them kind of meet in the middle and they're embracing. As the night winds down, Helena and Briar are well on their way to Drift End. You will probably catch up with them because it takes about a week to 2 weeks to get there. So you'll probably catch up with them when they make camp. The only other thing of note that happens is after the ceremony is done and it's around the time that y'all usually all head to bed, your deities are all very frantically reaching out to you. I'm going to give y'all a choice. We can do the deity scenes now, or we can end session here.
I'm thinking maybe wait till we're all here
Mhm.
for that.
Okay.
And I assume you'll tell me what Corin gave me later, right?
Yeah.
Figured. I know how we do things.
Yeah. All right. Well, then that's where we're going to end session tonight. We will pick back up next week with y'all. We'll start essentially with y'all's deities talking to you. And then we're going to move on to you all heading to